an undergraduate student of law, and on social media, I mostly do spoken word poetry, and I also play the guitar and music professionally.
Wow! Naam, bila shaka mtazamaji, natumai kwamba upo salama na mzima popote ulipo. Karibu nyumbani pa burudani, ulimwengu wa siasa na pia ambapo siku zote natia bidii ili kuhakikisha kwamba nimekupakulia na pia kukupasulia mbarika kuhusiana na masuala yote ambayo yanakuhusu wewe msikilizaji. Jina langu ni Kelvin Gituma, of course hapa ni ndani ya Kelvin Media.
Kwa screen tuko naye mwanadada mrembo tu, a beautiful lady ambaye nataka tuchape story naye kuhusiana na maisha imekuwa namna gani, and of course things to do with youth matters, career yake imekuwa namna gani. Na iwapo ni mara yako ya kwanza jamani kupitia channel hii, hakikisha kwamba umejiunga na familia kwa njia ya kusubscribe. Itakuwa ina maana kwamba siku zote ambapo nitakuwa na upload video yote hapa itakuwa wa kwanza kuipokea. We go. How are you?
How are you?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Pia niko salama. For the first time maybe watu wamekuwa wakikutazama kwenye your TikTok account and also YouTube. Maybe kuna wale ambao bado hawajakuelewa, maybe kuna wale ambao wewe ni mgeni kwao. Please can you introduce yourself to them?
My name is Splendour.
Yes.
I am an undergraduate student of law. And on social media, I mostly do spoken word poetry, and I also play the guitar and music professionally.
Tukianza hapo kwa poete,
Yeah.
you know, some people huwa wanajiuliza kwamba how can I start it? Maybe some people watu najiuliza kama sisi we don't know how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask ourselves maybe how can I start it?
Yeah.
So according to you, ulianzaje? Nini ilikupelekea ukaanza kucheza guitar?
Okay.
Yes.
So in terms of the guitar, I started in high school. At the time, I was part of the basketball team. But when we had the basketball team, there was the senior team and the junior team.
Yes.
So I was part of the junior team, but I felt like it won't give me a moment to play actively and compete because you're just like a substitute.
Yes.
So after that, I joined the drama club of our school. That's why I began to learn. And in my second year, I met my basketball teacher. He asked me, where have you been? I told him the reasons as to why I left the team.
Yes.
And at the time, he used to play the guitar. He didn't teach music, but he had the ability to play the guitar. I told him it was something I was interested in. He gave me an opportunity, and that's why I started playing the guitar. And over time, I also researched different things on YouTube, on different guitar channels. And up to now, even as I play with other people who have more experience, it's a moment for me to grow. Yeah.
Maybe what have you learned from playing guitar?
So from playing the guitar, I've learned that it's a process. That when you begin something, you have to be patient with yourself because you are not an expert.
Yes.
And those who are experts also had a moment where they were beginners.
Yes.
So it's also been a process of patience, adaptability, because there's so many different genres of music. So just learning those genres and playing them. Yeah.
Maybe kuna yule ambaye maybe uko na rafiki ama your family members ambaye anajua kucheza guitar. Do you have maybe a family member?
So my elder brother has the knowledge of the guitar.
Yes.
But he doesn't play it actively. Though there is a background of music in our family. My mother used to sing. My father used to play the kinanda. Kinanda, is it piano?
Yeah, keyboard. Yes, piano.
Yeah. And my sister sings as well.
You also sing?
My sister, I have a sister who sings.
What about you? Do
For
you
me,
sing?
I'm a bit shy singing. I don't think it's my passion.
But you play guitar.
Yeah. So
unacheza bass, kuna kusolo, I don't know.
solo, there's bass, solo,
Yes.
or rhythm,
Yes.
then there's acoustic. So I mainly play acoustic.
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 Yes. Acoustic.
Yeah.
For example, acoustic huchezwa kwa ngoma kama gani?
Country music has a lot of acoustic.
Yeah.
So what country musicians play, they mostly use the acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey na hapo umefika sahi kwa kucheza gitaa. Imechange your life?
Yeah, so initially when I started, I didn't think I can monetize playing the guitar.
Yes.
But it has enabled me to train students
Yes.
who are in JSS.
Wow.
And even now, especially in Nairobi, it's a very good market for musicians. At least in a week, if you're a musician, you can make something. There are a lot of opportunities from weekend events, live music, upcoming artists. Nairobi is very musical.
So that means you don't regret kucheza guitar?
I don't regret.
Can you advise someone maybe?
Yeah, I can definitely advise someone to consider playing music or learning about it.
Yes.
Especially if they're in a major city. It is very helpful and beneficial. Yeah.
Kuna maybe so far maybe kuna kampuni ama waimbaji fulani, the musician ambao wamekuapproach wachezee gitaa?
So
or even bad?
Most of the time,
Yes.
we do it as a band. So we are individuals who play music.
Yes.
And we came together and formed a group. So when one of us has an event, they invite us to come and play. So my fellow band members,
Yes.
they have played for institutions like USIU. They've played for CTAM. So those, just to mention a few.
Wow, that's nice. Okay. So apart from that, umetutajia kwamba you are a poet. Take us through your journey in poetry.
So my journey in poetry
Yes.
goes back to high school when I was part of the drama club. And in my first year of being with the drama club, I did the play. But in my second year, after gaining some experience, I wanted to try something new. That's when I realized the Kenya Drama Festivals has a category for spoken word poetry.
Yes.
So I started looking at Kenyan poets such as Teardrops and other poets from the UK and the United States, just to see how poetry is performed in different countries. So in 2019 was when I first wrote my poem. I competed in the drama festivals.
Wow.
I was shy, but it went well. So because of that, it gave me more confidence. And the more I began to present, the more I began to write, the more I began to grow. And when I finished high school, the drama festivals actually became a means for me to be employed. I would advise anybody, if they're in high school or primary or even university, that the drama festival is a good place to start from. Schools are looking for trainers, and if you negotiate well, you will go home very happy.
Now that umetueleza hiyo story yote, how you started, maybe kuna changamoto ambazo ulipitia, the challenges maybe kuanza na hapo umefika sahi?
Yeah. So in terms of theater, the drama festival, most of the challenges were, I am a young person. I'm approaching older people who are owners of schools and telling them that I can give them high quality work. So I feel for any young person entering that space, it is a challenge you can expect. And sometimes maybe someone may want to underpay you, yet you're giving them high quality work. So that is a bit of a challenge.
Hiyo tu, being a lady ukifanya poet
Yeah.
ama poems maybe unapatana na the gentleman pale.
Yeah.
Have you ever ushawijipata kwa situation that msee anakuthreaten anakuambia what are you doing, you are a girl, why do you think you can compete with me?
So the only situation I've encountered
Yes.
was more on a friendly side.
Okay.
I never realized that my opponent
Yes.
competed with the student I had coached.
Oh.
So when we met, he was like, you know what, this time I'm going to defeat you in the performance.
And you are
So
the
it was
coach.
more of friendly rivalry, you know. Just in a way we are like telling each other, if you don't do something good, I
Yeah.
will do something better and win. Yeah.
Now hapo umetuambia kwamba when you were starting your journey in poetry ulifanya research.
Yeah.
Do you mean that hakuna coach mwenye alikuwa kwa upande wako, maybe you didn't have a coach maybe to coach you on how to start the poems or rather the language that can be used to capture the attention of the people?
So at the time, I didn't have a coach.
Yes.
And that is why I turned to doing YouTube to
Yes.
see what other people are doing. Because the trainer at that time was not interested in poetry. They had never tried it. So it was just more of a risk. Let's try and see how it goes. Yeah.
So far you can see kuwa poet, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a very good idea.
It
It's
pays.
very marketable and it pays very well. Yeah.
But I can see wewe ni mdogo, kuna kitu ambacho najiuliza
Yeah.
when you go to train people out
Yeah.
there, you know, unapatana na watu wakubwa kukuliko.
Yeah.
How do you take that?
So I am lucky that the students who I've worked with,
Yes.
even though they're physically bigger than me,
Yes.
they were respectful. And I think if you're a trainer, sometimes don't come off too harsh on those students because they might disrespect you. So you just try to find a middle ground. How can I encourage the student to develop their talent while maintaining that mutual respect? Yeah.
Kwa the two signs ambayo ni ya poetry na the playing guitar.
Yeah.
Kuna wazazi ambao at some point unapata ukijihusisha na mambo kama hayo and your girl child or your lady, wazazi, you know, parents pale wanaanza kukwambia this is the not a right direction for you to take.
Yeah.
Maybe washawi kuambia hivyo, washawi kudiscourage?
So when I started guitar,
Yes.
it was in high school and I was near my national exams.
Yes.
So my parents were worried that if I focus too much on the guitar, I'll forget to read for my national exams. I don't think it was discouraging, but at the moment they're just trying to help me focus.
Okay.
But it is totally true that many guitarists are men, so ladies are like a minority and they're coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now take us through your, thank you for that. Okay, take us through your journey, the career that you are pursuing right now, maybe the law.
Yeah.
Why did you choose law na sio subject ingine or rather another course?
So I started out in film and theater, but along the line, one of my mentors misused my intellectual property.
How?
They asked me to write for them a script with the promise that they would pay me. But once I sent them the script, they ghosted me. And if you're in that industry, you know, once that happens, it means someone has just taken your work and they're not going to give you credit for it. So in that process, I tried contacting a family friend who's a lawyer, and I realized that the legal process can be very long and costly. So it is how I made a shift from film and theater to come into law, so that I can also learn about intellectual property for creatives and other aspects of the law. so that I can be able to give advice and help to any creative person out there.
So far, what can you say about law?
Law is a very good profession. Anyone can study it. You can do it as a second degree if you didn't do it as a first degree.
Yes.
And you learn a little bit about everything.
Yes.
In the undergraduate, you get to look at cases from medicine to education to media to politics, everything. It helps you understand things better. Yeah.
Kuna maybe categories za law?
Yeah, there are
Like for
categories.
example, you can see kwa journalism, kuna camera, being a camera person, being an editor, the producer. What about law?
So in law, there are different specialities.
Yes.
You have private law and public law. So in terms of private law, you'll find things such as contracts.
Yes.
You'll find things such as tort. While in public law, that's where you'll find criminal law. You'll find land law. What other things can I say?
Okay, like for example, tukiangalia the cases that inaendelea kwa koti ya the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, wale lawyers
Yeah.
wame specify wapi exactly?
So I would say that is a matter under constitutional law. So in law, the constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Yes.
And when we look at the office of the president and the deputy president,
Yes.
they're found in the constitution. So parliament in the constitution has the power to impeach a president or the deputy president,
Yes.
which has happened. So we're also looking at the constitutionalism aspect and the procedural fairness of that matter. Yes.
For example, nikuwe na case fulani kama ya shamba
Yeah.
ama case kama ya familia hivi,
Yeah.
unaweza itatua?
Yes, I can give you advice based off it. So in family, we have to consider whether you are married.
Yes.
So we have provisions such as the Marriage Act that classifies the type of marriage
Yes.
and its registration. Then we also have the Children's Act. So in case you have children,
Yes.
what is the law saying? So the advice we give depends on the situation you're in. Yeah. And the same thing applies to land. If it's a case of inheritance, there are different laws that are there that will guide us. Yes.
So apart from law, course gani ingine unaweza somea? No, let's say that umemaliza hiyo degree ya law.
Yeah.
Unaweza maybe tamani kufanya course gani ingine?
I think I would say media. The reason I would say media, when we are looking at film and theater,
Yes.
it needs the media aspect of it.
Yes.
So like there's the cinematography and stuff like that. I would like to know. Yeah, in case maybe I'm in a situation where someone says, direct this project, I think I should be versatile. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. But before tutamatishe, let me take you back to ushairi poem.
Yes.
Kwa your account ya TikTok pale, I normally see you ukiangazia masuala yote that is concerning the love and also the life itself.
Yes.
Your recent video on TikTok,
Yeah.
ulikuwa unaongelea about forgiving yourself. Is it something like that? Forgiving yourself, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us maybe ukiandika hizi your poems, is it that ni kitu ambacho huwa unakumbana nacho then kinakupelekea wewe kuziandika, or you just want to portray or rather maybe to give someone an advice ama ni message kwa watu tu?
I would say that some of the poetry
Yes.
is from my personal experience, and other poetry is experiences of people around me. So generally, I just seek to help someone receive advice towards that situation, or to find a poem that expresses the feelings that they can't vocalize
So we should
themselves.
not judge you kulingana na your poems pale.
Yeah, most of them, 99%, are from the experiences of my friends. Yes.
Cause naonanga pale sometimes unaandika the poem concerning your ex-boyfriend. Sometimes unaandika in a relationship.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I just want to know maybe kama ni wewe ama ni your friends.
Those are stories from my friends. I keep their identity private,
Yes.
but I tell it through their persona, like their perspective of it. Yes.
Maybe kulingana na hiyo, have you ever experienced such kind of ushawijipata kwa hiyo situation maybe?
Well, my previous situations are good. We ended on good terms. So unfortunately, I have not walked in that shoe myself. I haven't walked in that shoe myself.
Bado?
Yeah, in the sense of like experiencing betrayal romantically, no. I was lucky enough to be with people who we could just sit down and talk, and when we saw we were no longer in the same vision, we went separate ways in peace. Yeah. The heartbreak poems are mainly for my friends.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe tukimaliza juu ya time, talk to the young generation ambao wanakuja. There are some people outside there, or rather the youths outside there, wanasema kwamba hatuna opportunity. The government haitupei opportunity, or rather the society pia haitupei opportunity. But na bado kuna the internet. Like for example, mimi I can say I've learned a lot from you kupitia the TikTok and the YouTube. Now, kuna wale wanasema kwamba hawana opportunity, yet they have a mobile phones, they have a computer and such kind of gadgets they have zenye zinaweza maybe wasaidia kufanya vitu zao maybe za muziki na kadhalika. Can you talk to them? Kuna wale ambao pia wanafeel kwamba they can just give up. Kuna wale pia wanaona now that the government haiwapi nafasi za kazi maybe, or rather the society pia haiwapi chance. So wengine unapata wanaingia kwa the drugs, wengine wanajitoa uhai, wanajiua and stuff like that. Maybe can you give them a piece of advice?
So my advice would be never to give up. Don't underestimate your ideas, because everything that we see right now was a result of someone's idea.
Yes.
The phones that we use, the clothes that we wear, the cars that we see, someone had once thought about it. So it's just about pressing on and pushing forward. And yes, sometimes the government is supposed to put measures and acts that promote you creatively.
Yes.
But once you have a phone and you have access to the internet,
Yes.
your life can change in a moment. Sometimes they have people who get fame overnight and they have all these different brands looking for them, these opportunities. So I would say just keep pushing. Keep posting a lot more if you're using TikTok, Instagram. That way you get better. That way you get to see your errors, you get to interact with the audience. And right now, in fact, Kenya is a good space for you to start an online business. There is a lot you can talk about, from agriculture to content creation. There is a lot of people ready to consume your content. So it's just that consistency that you need to have.
So they should not give up.
They shouldn't give up.
What about their parents ambao wana discourage their kids?
Well, I'd encourage the parents to be a lot more open-minded.
Yeah.
If the child is under 18, yes, play a role of supporting them
Yes.
and helping them to navigate the online space. And if your child is above 18, support them, because this is the future of the world of tomorrow. When we see people continuously creating different sources of AI, it means there is an opportunity in the tech and media space for people. And since it's in its early stages,
Yes.
it's better to start with it. Like, there was a time people were thinking of TikTok as a decimal app just for dancing.
Yeah, sure.
But now TikTok has become a source of employment for people.
Sure. A lot of people actually.
True. And the monetization is increasing. So it's just about continue pushing. Personally, for me, it took a whole year before I made my first shilling from TikTok. But once I've gotten there, it becomes encouraging.
Yeah.
The small wins are very important. Yeah.
Thank you for having you on my show.
Thank you for
Wambie-
calling me to the interview as well.
Wambie wa subscribe.
So I'd encourage you guys to subscribe on TikTok. I use the name Another Day Poetic Presents. It's the same for YouTube and Instagram. Thank you.
Na TikTok, right?
Yeah, it's the same name.
So guys, mpateni pale TikTok jamani, anafanya kazi poa sana na utafurahia. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
I think
having
nitakuwa karibu sana na wewe. Napendanga sana kujua kuandika the poems. I really like, I need a coach. Na utanifunza, right?
Yes, I'll be glad to teach you.
Eh?
Yeah, I'll be glad to teach you.
What about the guitar?
Yeah.
By the guitar, I normally play piano, but sijui guitar. Utanifunza?
Yes, very much ready.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, hii ni episode ya kwanza. The next episode tutakuwa tunaongelea the lifestyle sasa, na pale tutazungumza mambo mengi sana. Consider subscribing and also turning the notification bell on for you to be notified once I upload any video. My name is Kelvin Gitumar. Of course, this is Kelvin Media. Bye.